Yes, sir.
Question. Are they doing mowing or whatever they do?
No, sir. Our mowing contractor, you mean? No, sir. They won't start until probably sometime right after Labor Day. All the mowing.
And County Road 77, grass is about almost weed. And it's right anywhere else. And we have some people like that. I got yesterday.
Can you give us an update on the Rebuild Alabama projects, where we are with those?
I can. We have, of the projects listed on the county transportation plan this year, we've completed one road fully, about 2.5 miles, and then we partially or mostly completed, pretty much everything except final traffic stripe, about 10 other roads for a total of about 24 miles. So that's your total number of roads and mileage on your CPP was, I think, 23 roads, 21 roads and 59 miles. So of that, we've completed, or mostly completed, 11 roads and 24 miles. So we're pretty close to halfway there.
We got any idea on completion date on some? I mean, like I noticed they went up in the District 6, they went to Shady Grove and did the paving between Shady Grove and the Crenshaw County line, and everybody up there saw it, was wondering when they were going to go to Kent and get that one done.
Right.
The Smart Road, Thundering Springs, we're kind of curious where we are on.
And those two roads you mentioned are in two different contracts, But the one, the contract that 1136 is under, the one they did do, that one is, the majority of that has been completed. I think 8 out of 10 roads are pretty much completed, except for Bog Hill and final traffic stop. So that one is well on its way to being completed. I'm hoping, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm hoping that contract will be completed by the end of next year. They have their two biggest projects, I guess they say, for the end. They were working with the other contractor is moving back in. They had to leave us for a couple of weeks, so they're moving back tomorrow. And we'll start on Smart Road, which I know will be a delight for many people to hear that. But January 22, 25 is when they're coming to me. Hopefully starting tomorrow, unless the weather messes up. So I'm hoping that, yeah, I'm hoping, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm hoping that they'll be finished by the end of July. That's kind of, don't know whether that'll happen like that, but they are very much ahead of schedule compared to what we're expecting to do. Kind of working that way.
Any other questions for the engineer?
All right, come in, the good age, we got a lot of good companies behind good lights and good food. And Barry Rose talked about it. We like it, about it.
Well, good. That's good. That's great to hear. And I will mention, since you mentioned that, those are two of our preventive maintenance projects. So what those are chip seals in order to preserve the pavement that's there and make it last a lot longer. So it's good to get that positive feedback and tell them we're not even finished yet. When we get finished, they're really going to like it. That's what positive on. Right. That's much more economical to do it that way, to keep your good roads good. Kind of like changing the oil in your car or painting your house before you decide to ride. Just a whole lot more economical.
Lift Chin, 6 hours, where the dogs and kids at, where we all were. Maybe. It's quite a few times live on that road.
Okay. All right. If no more questions for the engineer, we'll have the EMA director's report next.
Don't have anything tonight for any type of action, but quickly things that I can overly once is we're still waiting on FEMA, and maybe another couple of months and on to before we hear back from disaster declaration. Everything that they need, they've got right now. I've checked with our representatives in the state on our EMA. We provide them everything we've got and the estimations on all the debris removed from various agencies and all the costs. So we're simply waiting on FEMA to approve it and send it on for signature of project. So we'll send it sometime to get back. I'll let you know. Questions about that? The other item is the COVID virus, COVID-19. Folks, I'm afraid we're in this for the long haul here. All the indications in the state of Alabama, are that we're going to continue to rise in cases. Not seeing the other one off, not seeing maybe in some of the counties we are, even some of the counties that were having one or two cases early on are now up in hundreds of counties again, for example, the ones that are highlighted with regards to the county cases that are increasing now. There's a big push coming up for the 4th of July weekend, as people start to go on vacation and stuff. But promote social distancing, promote wearing a mask. I don't know if any of y'all have any indication that you would like to consider some type of, maybe at least a resolution or recommendation with regards to wear a mask when you're reaching or something that you look at that continues to rise. pieces and see what we're going to sign with all the bonds.
And hopefully we'll get some funding. We have four, so we'll be hopefully successful. And one last thing, I'll bring this up. I had a question, I told Kenny this, but multiple people have called asking about hazardous mitigation funds or shelters, not only the community shelters, but individual shelters. That will not come until we get this disaster declaration. We get the disaster declaration, and there will be hazardous mitigation money that will be available that we can offer to individuals and communities to build some additional shelters. That's all I have.
Question on that.
Sure.
So how would that work? What would they, so we get the declaration, is it kind of like what we did in Mansfield, they'll fund a certain portion of them, or?
Well, they'll fund a certain portion of it, yes, we'll have to, put together a package, and as I said before, I think there is a much more economical way for us to accomplish the same thing. They probably don't look as nice as the shelter in Mansfield, but there are other shelters out there where I think we could do for more people, using the same amount of money. In other words, we could build 3 shelters for maybe the cost of what 2 are, and have 3 communities versus just 2. So we would look at more or less some of the prefab type shelters, and I refer to them as Quonset.
Something like Crenshaw County.
Like Crenshaw County. And basically what it is to get people into a safe location during the weather, and then they're not long-term shelters. They're not, I think Crenshaw County uses theirs some for the polar places, but they're not really a long-term type thing. It's just to get people safe during that. And so we would go out and we would do the application for those particular things, and then individuals can apply for that too. And we could utilize some in-kind services for those, because those primarily require a steel concrete pad and then everything bolted and on there. But I don't think we need to look at same type of shelter that have these steel.
On the individual ones, it's just individual applies directly, or do they?
Individual applies directly, they come through, we have to verify their information before it's sent out. But I think we would look at, at some additional community shelters.
No more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Since Mr. Allen has not made it in, does the commissioner have anything to report tonight?
I was at a RCB board meeting last week, and they put a lot of emphasis on first responders, and then application for a grant, and July 1st is the last day for it to turn it in. And if you got anybody in the district, fire department, or whatever, police department, needs some funds, you have to buy supplies and going to school or whatever, you can use it for. They need to be in by July 1.
Did you say that was for first responders or for families of first responders?
First responders, police officers.
Or helping with education?
Yeah.
Okay.
Training. You're talking about training, is what you're talking about. Is that what you're talking about training?
Funds available for
Funds available for
Training,
training.
yeah.
Okay.
So the last couple of years, there's been a couple of volunteer fire departments that have requested some equipment.
Well,
If I remember right, all.
They'll take on the equipment too.
So there's applications out on the Water SRC and the website.
You don't, if they don't, I don't need to have a call now. Well, you can call line and let's talk to it.
Any other commissioner have anything to report?
I know what you got, Mark, say.
Mr. Allen, you got anything to report tonight?
Did you mention anything about the draw? You didn't.
On vacation?
Did talk about
Let me look real quick. Awesome, look. Under current business, on number 8, those 2 vacant roads, or portions of roads, county road that have been, we've received petitions to vacate those specific portions. Russell and I are going through our protocol. I've already finished what I'm due, which is to make sure the petitioners are the rightful petitioners and nobody else has been excluded. So what you can do tonight, so we can go ahead and set a public hearing, as you recall, we have to run a notice in the paper once a week for 4 weeks, and I have to send, or the county, but I have to send certified mail notices to the certain owners that may or may not be affected by the road. You just kind of have a map, and we have to just sort of use common sense to know who to send it to, and then Russell puts a sign, the road department has started putting a sign out on the roads for notification, and we have to send it to any utility that has or uses the right-of-way. So we're getting all of that information assembled. So, but we can go ahead tonight. In fact, I would encourage you to go ahead tonight and set the public hearing. But I've already looked at the calendar and the timeline. There's no way it can be done earlier than the first meeting in August.
Will it need to be 2 hearings in one night? How will we word the motion since it's 2 roads, or can we do it in 1 hearing for both roads?
Well, it'll be,
Would it need to be 3341 at 5:15 and 11:59 at 5:30? I mean, how would we need to?
well, I think the way that I'm going to do the notice for the paper would probably be 1 notice of a public hearing per road.
Okay.
And so we'll have 2 public hearings just back to back on that night to get them, expedited. And, so the motion can be to have the public hearings set on whatever that day is in August. Is it the 13th? 10th, okay. At 5:15, we always just do the beginning of the work session. And then I'll do the 2 notices and make sure all of those things are done. And then on the agenda for that night, Mackenzie can put public hearing, County Road, so. The night, public hearing, County Road 1159, so we'll have 2.
Any other questions for the attorney? Sir. Administrator?
I did have 2 additional items that are not on the agenda under my report. We've had a couple things come up. I've talked to our attorney, Alan Jones. We'll probably need to call an executive session for pending or threatened litigation and good neighborly character tonight. We can just, I think, do that at the end of the meeting. They shouldn't take long. Other than that, we will have, under current business, the personnel for the Revenue Commissioner's office. You all have a letter where they're asking to hire and fill the vacancy that you had advertised, y'all allowed them to advertise for in-house. And also, because it was in-house, he opened up another position and they want to advertise for a customer service representative 2 in his office. We'll do that tonight. The other item is the ACCA Legislative Committee. We talked about at the meeting last week. We do need to get that set. I believe Commissioner Copeland has been serving on that. If we can move forward and, if y'all want to reappoint him, we can get a motion doing that so that we can let ACCA know. Other than that, I will tell y'all that, we have started working on the budget in the office. We sent out packages to department heads. So we have started looking on that. We may have a couple of memos and stuff going out to y'all about some different information. As everybody knows, there was some legislation passed about the Tier 1 and Tier 2 retirement options on making adjustments if local governments want to do that. So we've gotten, we're trying to finish getting in some numbers and all, and we'll send out a memo probably to y'all in the next week or so, giving y'all some numbers that we've gotten from the retirement system. Just to let you know where that stands, because if we do adopt that, in order for it to go into effect October 1 of this year, we'll have to have it to them by August the 21st. So it'll be well before we actually adopt the budget, which is kind of something we'll do along with the budget, but it may be a decision that needs to be made if we're going to go ahead and do it before we finalize everything with the budget this year.
Any questions for the administrator?
I got one. The census, July is normally the months that we look over all every district and need to do some changes. Where am I at on that,
Are you talking about redistricting?
Yeah.
That won't happen until the year after the census is done. So that'll be in 2021 that we'll start looking and seeing about if there needs to be lines redrawn and everything. So it's not done until after the census is done and they have all the numbers and the census blocks done and everything. So that'll be in 2021 that we will start looking at that and go into the State House and meet with the Appropriations Committee, I believe is who it is, that can help us with drawing those lines and everything. So we've still got about another year on that happening.
Question?
Have you had a chance to look into, we talked about the CARES Act and some of our employees, some of their payroll being eligible under that?
We have, Jordan and myself have both talked about that some, and we're looking into that. Trying to figure out how, I think ACCA is kind of asking us to wait just a minute before we start actually doing some, requesting the funds back. They're trying to get some clarification. We actually got something today. I've not had a chance to sit down and really read it from the Justice Department. It has to do with some personnel and requesting money back on that, but it has to do with grants and through federal avenues of getting money back. I'm not sure if that goes along with the Alabama correspondence of money that will come through Alabama, but it is still all funneling down from the federal level, so it may. So we are trying to look into that, but we are being told now that there may be some ways that we can request funds for personnel in the Sheriff's Department stuff, that you can't make a true decision on whether every hour they work or minute was strictly COVID related. We have some things that we definitely think that they've done that has been COVID related. Time spent working, and so they're trying to help us, I think, get some ways to be able to get some of those funds to offset the costs that we've had there. We've looked into a couple other things, for the money that'll come down on things we could do maybe in the office, and we're just trying to do a little bit of research on that. I think we could do countywide to help in Pike County with those funds. So if any of y'all have any ideas, please come talk to me about it, and let's see if it's expenses that can be reimbursed for things that we need to do countywide.
I got some information I'll send you tomorrow.
Okay.
If you don't say it by lunch, remind me.
I'll do that.
Anything further for the administrator? Thank you, ma'am. If there's nothing further to come before the commission at this time, we will recess the work session and come back at 6 p.m. for the regular meeting.